Welcome back, welcome back. A lot of things are happening down at the Lyric Theater, and the people that put that all together are members of the Ozark Arts Council. And here to talk about that is Eric Stefanski. You are, I guess, the go-to person for just about all the acts that are being considered, I would think.
See, I'll get phone calls now.
Well, that's good.
You
may find somebody good.
I mean, Julianne is actually the real go-to.
Your daughter.
I'm just the one who shows up when she's at work, which is
okay.
Now. I do most of the booking for bands and such, and she does everything else.
Right.
So it's amazing the people that will call us wanting to play. And the things that we're learning the more we go on, like how to twist someone's mistake to our benefit. So we were supposed to have Lawrence Juber this Friday night, and come to find out that actually he was supposed to be booked for 2018, not 2017, and his booking agent made that mistake. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, go ahead and reserve us for the same day next year, because this time we won't make the mistake and have it on a Goblins home game night.
There we go.
It'll be on a Saturday, and we will somehow get the Razorbacks to play a morning game again. Thing is that the booking agent apparently felt horrible about this and immediately turned around and said, and would you take Albert Cummings on St. Patrick's Day?
Oh.
It's like, I'll beg to get Albert Cummings anytime we can get him.
Yeah, okay.
His first concert here was great, and he's just been building more of a reputation and a following ever since throughout the country. He is a fantastic guitarist, and we'll talk more about him once we get there, but it's little things that we're picking up. One of the odd things today is in coming in, one of the things I wanted to talk about, I got a text from Juliana saying, oh yeah, you can't do that. So what do you mean? She says, well, I sent this part of the contract, and it's odd. On a movie that we're going to show next month, it says, advertising through media, radio, television, and so on, or using the name of the movie on your marquee is not allowed.
That is
How do you
odd.
advertise it?
I'm not sure exactly, other than creatively, I guess. So basically, you just have to go with the trivia game with everybody and say, you know, if...
Are you serious?
If
Wow.
I were to say to you that on October 28th at 9 o'clock in the evening, which seems late for a movie, but maybe not for some movies, if I said that on October 28th at 9 o'clock in the evening, we were having something that was kind of a cult classic that might be related to the Stony Terror film program, you might guess...
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
No, see, I didn't say that. So, but that would be a good guess, I would think. And if you go to thelyric.org and go to our ticketing site, you'll see tickets for a show that might or might not be that one, but probably is, and will have the correct name that I'm not allowed to say.
That's amazing.
Interesting. Stupid.
You know,
I think it's stupid,
what gets me is that we've got a movie coming up even before that, October 3rd, and because this was just as I was coming in, I didn't get to talk to the Harrison Race Relations, or Task Force on Race Relations, to see who they licensed this movie through. But it's a movie greatly popular last year, great movie really, about Jackie Robinson. And it goes by his uniform number. But I can't say the uniform number unless...
Isn't it 42?
That's what I remember it as being, so probably that would be the way to go. And the great thing about that movie, too, is not only is it a great movie, but it's going to be free for the general public. So
I like this game.
Yeah, it is. It's quite a deal. It's, you know, kind of like the bad guy in Blazing Saddles, of course, is...
Hedley Lamar.
Hedley Lamar, exactly. And strangely enough, they did not forbid me from saying that, because the Hedley Lamar Band will be with us on Saturday evening. They'll start playing around 7:30. Doors are going to open by 7. Hedley Lamar Band has done great shows every time they've been with us. Again, when a band, and people will sometimes go, well, it's a local band. Why don't I just wait till I can see them at a bar or something? And it's like, our acoustics are so good. They are so good on this stage. They are such a good band that they were the opening act for Albert Cummings. And Albert Cummings was thrilled to have them as an opening
very
act.
nice.
It was like, this was just great for an opener for me. Couldn't have asked for more. And they're coming to help us out here Saturday evening. Since we lost the Lawrence Juber concert, on very short notice, Billy Youngblood said, yeah, hey, we'll be happy to do that. We are playing in Eureka Springs from 2 until 6. And so they're going to race on over. We'll have all of their equipment set up already Friday night or Saturday morning. They will switch drummers for the performance from Jason Ruff to Will Youngblood, because drummers, after a while, the last thing you need is say, hey, I just played one day and I now have to have carpal tunnel. So 4 hours should be probably max for any drummer. But the other thing, though, is they're coming also to help us because we're doing a fundraiser.
Yeah.
And we're actually kicking off a larger fundraising campaign. So the actual program we're calling Keep the Lyric Cool with the Hedley Lamar Band. And the lyric itself is cool. It was cool even if it was hot inside. But we had the air conditioning in the lyric replaced about 4 or 5 years ago now. And so it's great in the lyric, but where the performers get ready and get dressed, we were told, well, you need to turn that on 4 or 5 days in advance and let it slowly cool up if the theater's been closed to keep the condensation that drips off of it down. The units are, well, the units when the annex was put up were donated units that were used. And the theory was that by the time they wore out, we would have saved money to be able to replace them. And then the economy kind of tanked, and just making bills, much less saving money, was just not something that was happening. So at any rate, we had the units over there in the annex start dripping water on the floor when nobody was going upstairs in the annex. So nobody noticed what had happened until the floor was rotted through. So we've got a big chunk of flooring that has to be replaced, and we've got the 2 air conditioning units, which is going to come up to $8,500 is what we were told. And really to fix one of the units to make it all maybe work for a year was about $6,000, so you might as well replace them. And so we're kicking that off, and we're doing it in 2 ways. One, we're only charging $5 for admission for Hedley Lamar Band because we want the lyric to be packed. The more people that come in to hear this band play, the more that maybe haven't been to the lyric before and get to experience it will be coming back to enjoy plays like y'all were in this past weekend. And when we have people in there, we will not say much about the air conditioning. It will be air conditioned for them. We won't turn it off so they go, hey, it's warm back there. And so nothing like that. But just to be able to say, look, if you would like to contribute to the air conditioning, please do so. Those who can will. Those who can't won't. We just want everybody to come out, have a party, enjoy the band, enjoy the theater, and get used to being in the theater. That, in the same way, then, that helps us kick off our larger fundraising campaign, our 90 for 90 campaign. We want to increase the membership of the Ozark Arts Council by 90 members and raise $90,000 for the 90th anniversary of the lyric, which is, of course, in 2019. Right. So if we can get that done, we'll not only have the air conditioning replaced, but we'll be able to get the upstairs restrooms, the original restrooms that haven't been used since the 70s. We'd like to have those restored and operational. When you have a big event like the Glenn Miller Orchestra, or we may be having the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra this coming summer, to be able to have bathrooms upstairs and downstairs is pretty much
the
invaluable.
ones that were off the balcony, is that what you're talking about?
Yes, exactly. The ones that have been storage for years.
I remember using those too,
Yeah, it's, I mean, right now the plumbing has to be redone and tile work, and other than that, it's moving files and file cabinets.
When you have a big crowd in there, you need extra.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And there is a certain segment that will typically sit in the balcony. And so rather than them having to do the stairs multiple times as well, strangely enough, because people think, a balcony, you're farther back, top of the balcony, you're so far away, because they're used to the way it is in bigger theaters. Every seat in the Lyric is an intimate seat. It's just built that way.
Yeah.
And every place in that theater has good sound.
Right.
In fact,
Actually,
the front
I-
two
It
rows.
carries really
Yeah.
nicely to the balcony.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really prefer to listen to a band up in the balcony.
Exactly. The first two rows of the balcony, I went through when James White was setting up his sound before the Platters. And I went through with my phone's decibel meter. And it was actually a couple decibels higher in the front of the balcony than anywhere else in the theater. The very top of the balcony was reading basically the same as right at the sound booth downstairs. So it's a good uniform sound throughout. The sound system itself is in good shape. So we've had some issues at times where bands wanted to do their own sound, and we've kind of eliminated that at this point until our main sound technician says you're okay. He's going to do your sound, or somebody he says is okay will, so that all the sound comes out good.
So you've got the
Wow.
Hedley Lamar Band coming next. Is it next?
This
coming
Saturday. This
okay.
Saturday, yes.
That'll
And
be the 24th.
24th, exactly.
and that's a $5 admission.
$5
and
admission.
Most of that money will be actually it's helping with the air conditioning unit in the annex area.
And actually, if you buy your ticket in advance by going to the website, $1 of that will actually go towards a discount on your first drink in the balcony.
Okay.
So if you want to come up to the balcony and get a drink, it's going to be
speakeasy.
$1. Yes, the speakeasy up in the balcony, $1 off up there. We have guacamole left over from the Guacamole Queens this last week, so guac and chips as well.
That was a good addition.
I'll tell you what, that and the punch.
The punch was
went
awesome.
really well.
Are you planning on any more of that punch?
We're thinking of punch for the opera, which comes up a week from this
Okay.
weekend.
Okay.
The 29th and 30th of September and the 1st of October has the opera, or the opera double header of Maids and Men. And for it, we were thinking something about Aphrodite's Delight Punch is what we were looking
Okay.
at. And we just think it hits the theme,
You
as
bet.
does the guacamole. So if we have run out of guacamole, we'll go get some more. But I think it's going to turn out great. The opera itself, from what I've seen of it, is going to be hilarious. So
Okay.
beyond simply having wonderful music, the scripting of the first half is just hilarious modern opera. The second half is a traditional opera as well. And they're both short operas. They're not overwhelming for someone who has not been into opera. On the other hand, they won't be disappointing for someone who loves opera.
Okay. Good.
So,
And if
Lovely.
you want more information on the entire schedule of what's going on there at the Lyric through the OAC, you can do that. Where can they go?
thelyric.org is the simplest way to type it in. And again, for tickets, you can go there or call us at 870-391-3504.
Now,
All right.
it's not the lyricherrison.org then?
Yes, it's that too. And the
Either
Ozark
way.
Arts Council.org.
Okay.
Yes.
There you go.
We own them all because people make mistakes when they type, and we just want to capture everybody.
There you did. You did. Okay.
Eric, thanks a lot.
Thank
and
you.
good luck with the campaign. If you'd like to donate, just give money
Yes, please do.
to the Ozark Arts Council for their immediate need. You can do that by the same contact information, and you'll find that at the end of the show. Thank you once again.
Thank you. And
Thank
you
you.
guys were wonderful this weekend. We really
Thank
enjoyed
you.
it.
We had fun.
So
We
great
had
show,
fun.
great audiences.
I'm still running some of the lines through my head at this moment. Thank you.
Just watching Ann interview Karen McCaig it was just so surreal. That was just great.
She's a hoot, that's for sure.
Yep.
Up next, we got Wanda Massengale and Carter,
All
our
right. We'll be
pet of
back.
the week. We'll be right back.